Hello, guys. Hey, thanks for having me. Yeah, super exciting to be here. Just waiting on some screens. Yep. But today we're really here to talk about DeFi and understand kind of what's the impact that we're having in the Launchpad system. Okay, we're going onto fallback. Okay, so today I really want to break down, there we go, into two ecosystems, more specifically Polygon and Cardano. We're not going to be specifically talking about these. We're going to talk about our experience in the space and what we really think we can bring to projects out there that are creating. The context of the market is clear. There's so much TLV locked into DeFi, that needs no introduction. And the tendency is, huge. The tendency towards decentralization exists. It's undeniable, and we have to live with it, right? What we see is that business models are also adapting and evolving, and the relationships with customers are doing exactly the same thing. And startups are actually growing differently. Not only that, but traditional finance was great, and it still has a key role. But at the same time, communities are becoming more and more important as they become the center of our communities, of our ecosystems, and our DAOs. How do we launch and how do we grow a startup to make sure that the token is not only successful, but that actually there's a business model behind it? And today we're here, again, as I said, to talk about our experience event. We're a software company that helps run TGE, so token generation events. And yes, typically it's called a launchpad, but in reality we have to kind of forget what that means in terms of marketing and understand the real breakdown of the challenge that we have. The first is it's really hard to navigate DeFi, and there's no clear manual. I think two of my colleagues were here before discussing a few other things, and there's some other panelists as well mentioning how you have to choose the DEX, you have to choose the right customer, the right market maker. It's really, really hard, and introductions are mostly based on networks, communities that you already know, or people that you know on Telegram, and things change so quickly. It's really hard to kind of know who you have to speak to. Maybe last week, this was a hot topic and the hot exchange, and then tomorrow we have to move on to something else. So you need to do things with the right people, and you have to time them correctly. And this means that we really need help as projects, but we also need to connect this ecosystem and make sure that these loosely connected systems or processes all become one. So we're exactly doing that. We're creating this manual that people are missing, but instead of having a manual that happens over Telegram, we're actually building it into a platform. And so we help ideate, launch, and build startups. And it's really important to break down these three steps, because launching a token, I'm not going to say it's easy, but that's just the first step of the journey, right? Now you have to go and run the marathon, and the token is just the way to start it. So there's a lot of features that we build into our platform, from due diligence to a nice reward system, like a unified experience that keeps it all into one app, and a really strong, solid community that becomes the base of everything that you build. What makes us different is, as I said, we have a really strong community that in this case actually governs what happens with these projects and how they're going to follow the manual. We have a product, and that is a key part of what makes us different, is that we don't just run marketing. We actually have a platform that connects you to the best people to do what you have to do. And the third is we're obviously security and trust conscious. As an EU entity, we obviously fully comply with KYC and AML requirements, and we're also working with the regulators to understand what MiCA regulation will have to do with crypto assets and how we can be proactive in making user adoption the standard that we're going to talk about now. It's not about how do I target current crypto users, it's how do I target users that are not in crypto and can become part of our DeFi ecosystem. So our mission is really to create this simple way to decentralize the funding system through this community-driven approach. And yes, we do leverage research and we leverage insights and data to create these strategies. It's not based on opinion, it's based on what works. Another panelist mentioned PancakeSwap. Absolutely, 80% of the volume is currently coming there. In 3 months' time, who will know what will be the exchange there? It might be someone else, right? And so what we have to do is take these insights, put them into a platform, and digest them in a way that someone just pulls up an app and be like, this is the next hot place I need to list. We leverage 3 types of insights. One is on-chain analysis. Who are the holders and investors that have the best behaviors, both retail and institutional? What is the market intelligence in terms of how a DEX is performing, how a centralized exchange is performing as well, and where your efforts are best put at, because you need to provide that liquidity. And third is the knowledge network. Knowledge is as good as how you share it and who you share it with. And so we don't just develop proprietary knowledge, we actually take knowledge, share it with our ecosystem, and ultimately break it down into our event learn section that is for the community members. A bit about us, just to kind of finish it off. We started in April of 2021. We raised just above $1.3 million, and we've got a team size of about 20 people with speaking over 12 languages. I'm originally French, CEO is German, we've got Armenians, we've got pretty much people from every single country you could think of in Europe. We've got 2 office locations, one is in EU and the other one is here in Dubai, and we're super excited to kind of see how the progress will be. We've got about 14,000 users, of which 5,000 are fully verified and KYC'd. At the same time, we've got a community of about 100,000 members that are actually very, very active. If we talk about engagement that people are looking at, these are people that actually care about what we're building and that want to participate in one way or other. We've oversubscribed about 500% in our private rounds, and we've got about 35 projects in the pipeline. Now, what I'm going to ask you, because obviously that's why we're here, is that projects don't come alone. And projects actually need to be referred. So if you're launching a token, if you need help or you know of a project that is cool, obviously just send them to our page, vent.ec/apply. And we're also happy to kind of have a chat with you guys in booth B9. I'm just going to kind of wrap it up here because I was missing a few slides with a bit of a reflection on what we're building, why we're here in this space, and what it means for us. As a company, we're trying to create something that's sustainable in time, and that's engaging. It's not about us, it's not about 20 people, it's not even about 100,000 people in our community. It's about how we, as an industry, come together, cooperate, and find the next big thing that we can work on. I think we've seen it in the markets, we've seen the amount of volume and money that can be moved, but we've also seen the impact that it generates. And it's not all about X's on exchanges and doing 20 X's or 30 X's. I think this type of reflection and these type of projects that are coming with real solutions and real value to the industry is what's going to define and change us from this label of, when Lambo to, oh my God, this actually can be game changing. So yeah, really invite anyone to kind of come with some conversations and happy to have a chat at booth B09. Thanks so much.